Attention, the following broadcast has been approved by Outcasted OC. Viewer discretion is advised. Incoming transmission in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
What's up guys, Megan Ross here giving you the AEW pay-per-view Wrestledream review. So we're going to dive straight into it. This was a very special pay-per-view because it was for the late great Antonio Inoki of New Japan Pro Wrestling, and it was a tribute show dedicated to him. So we got to see quite a lot of New Japan talent come over into AEW and have some of my dream matches I liked. So the 0 Hour had quite a few good matches. We had a mixed tag match, which I thought was very cool. Very much a different blend of a lot of people we wouldn't expect to see. It was really cool to see Billy Starks and Nick Wayne, who are both like the youngest wrestlers to now debut on quite a major pay-per-view match as well, which was pretty dope. We also had TMDK there, which once again, I love TMDK. It was really nice to see them go against the Acclaimed. But then we go into the main card. We open with MJF versus The Righteous in a 2 vs 1 handicap match. For me, this match was kind of not what I wanted it to be anymore. Like, having Adam Cole and MJF versus The Righteous was going to be awesome. I thought that was going to be like a really interesting tag match. To now they kind of made The Righteous look really weak against MJF because he actually beat the pair of them. He gave very much a promo at the start to clear the air, being like, look, at the end of Dynamite, someone stole my mask, it wasn't me. Adam Cole also isn't here. MJF did his usual thing of doing a load of tricks and cheap shots and just low blows as well. Like, I understand it, MJF's meant to be the heel, but it just made The Righteous look really weak now, and it feels like they're really going to struggle to rebuild from that, which I hope is not the case, because I think Righteous are arguably one of the most interesting tag teams AEW have right now. We also then go into Eddie Kingston versus Shibata. I thought this match was perfect for the spirit of Inoki and Inokiism, with doing the shoot style fighting with Japan strong style and defending the New Japan belt there as he did. They really went to war against each other, and Eddie Kingston keeps to his word of using a powerbomb as a finisher now, and he won against Shibata, retaining that belt. He doesn't really know where the future is going to land for him, but he's just happy he's gone against someone that he super respects. There was a really lovely moment where they sat down and just did Shibata's kind of sit down pose, but held each other's hands as a sign of respect, and I love to see it. Chris Statlander versus Julia Hart. I thought it was a solid women's match. I'm a little bit upset with the result of Chris Statlander retaining. I understand why, because they want to keep Chris Statlander strong and being a very well defending champion. But Julia Hart was on this streak of consistently defeating women throughout Dynamite, Collision, and she was doing it in submission holds. And it really seemed like the momentum was ready for Julia Hart. They had a spot where Brody King was distracting her to get the miss to happen, but Chris Statlander luckily stopped it and hit her Wednesday Night Fever, which is a version of a Tombstone Pile Driver, to retain. I don't know where the booking is going to go with this now, especially with Julia Hart. Is she just going to beat more women until she gets a rematch clause? We'll see where it goes, but I feel the match was good, but it should have had more time, and I feel like Chris Statlander could have lost the belt and then regained it later on. I just feel like the time was right to give it to Julia in that moment. But once again, it is what it is. We then go into the Young Bucks versus the Guns versus the Lucha Bros and Hook and Orange Cassidy. This was to get a number 1 contender spot at the AEW tag belts. This match felt a bit sporadic and all over the place. Loads of different teams tagging in who. There were parts where even I was like, wait, who's the legal man? There were some really cool spots in it though, and I liked a lot of where we were going, a lot of the breaks. There was one part where I really thought that Nick Jackson had it, and then Orange Cassidy's flown in, no effort, like pocket still in hand, just dives his head in to break it up and things like that. But the end result, I'm definitely not happy with. Putting Young Bucks as another chance at the AEW tag belts when they already have the Ring of Honor Trios belts, and the fact they already had a match against FTR at All In. I feel like that was a bad decision. It should have gone to like a newer team or a team that should have had an opportunity. I would have much preferred to see the Guns kind of win this one and build a feud between the Guns and FTR, carrying on from that Bullet Club Gold and FTR kind of beef they've been having. But who knows, we will see where it kind of progresses from there and what the Young Bucks have in mind. For me, arguably the match of the night, Swerve Strickland versus Hangman Adam Page. This match was a consistent back and forth, heavy shots after heavy shots. There was a really awesome spot where Hangman Adam Page is getting checked on by Medical and Swerve just didn't care. He literally just stomps straight onto Hangman Adam Page when Medical is still there. There was a really interesting spot where Nana distracts Hangman and Swerve hits his kill shot of that side kick to Hangman, still kicked out, and Swerve hit another one and he got the 1-2-3. I'm so happy they booked Swerve to win this match. I think it was arguably the best decision because Swerve really needs this push right now because momentum is on him and he is really making himself established as a star, not just as himself, but he's putting Mogul Embassy all on his back to show, no, he is a leader and he means business when he's speaking business. And I'm here for that. A cool throwaway match next. I didn't really love or hate this one, but it was still nice to have. Ricky Starks versus Wheeler Yuta. I mean, I'm never going to complain for a Ricky Starks match and a Wheeler Yuta match. It was very good back and forth. This is where a lot of the fun of Jon Moxley being on commentary for half of the show came in, because he was shouting for his boys. He was just enjoying wrestling, and I love to see this. And it made sense for Ricky Starks to win. He's already gone out of his way to beat Daniel Bryan as best as he could and lost to him. So it now makes sense that Ricky Starks goes for someone else in Blackpool Combat Club to try and get in Danielson's head again. We then get another amazing match, and this was technical wrestling at its finest in Zack Sabre Jr. versus Bryan Danielson. Every part of it was just beautiful through and through. My favourite style of technical wrestling really showed from Zack Sabre Jr. Little disappointed Zack Sabre Jr. didn't win this one. I understand why they're doing this. If it's Bryan Danielson's close to his last years of wrestling and he's doing this kind of like as his home run tour, of course he's going to want to go on a winning streak. But we did have an after stage comment where Zack Sabre Jr. said, "You only knocked me out by a strike. You didn't actually knock me out by being a technical wrestler. So I want a rematch. I don't care if it's in Japan or my hometown of UK. We are going to have a rematch and we will definitely decide who the best technical wrestler is, because it is going to be a submission only match." And I'm fully here for it. I hope it happens at All In if it's going to be a UK show, because I think that will definitely pop for Zack Sabre Jr. being in the home of his UK, especially against Bryan Danielson. I think would be perfect for the build-up of All In 2. If not, that is a perfect build-up for a Wrestle Kingdom card in my eyes, and it would be one of the most like looked at New Japan Wrestle Kingdoms for getting a name like Bryan Danielson to finally be in Japan and doing a Japan match, which I hope happens, but we will have to see what is agreed upon. We then get arguably one of the most annoying situations of this whole card in the Callis family won again over Kenny Omega, Kota Ibushi and Chris Jericho. Like, I'm sorry, what? I understand you've got Will Ospreay. I understand you had Sammy Guevara and Takeshita, but the only one that stands out to me on the level of beating all of them was Ospreay, and Ospreay didn't really feel as like his natural self in that match. He also felt like he threw away kind of his United Empire style of how he is in the ring and how he was dominant in that way, to kind of fit like the Don Callis family style. And it was a weird match. The good takeaway from it was they brought out murder Ibushi mode, where Ibushi went, "Cool, hit the heck out of me, I'm going to strike you once," and knocked him straight on the arse. And I loved Takeshita and Ibushi's back and forth bit of just the strong elbow strikes into Kota hits like an insane lariat, so did Takeshita, and they just go back and forth there. Kenny really needs to catch a break and needs to start getting these wins again. It just feels a bit weird. Then we go to the worst booking decision in my mind. Like, this match could have been perfect. This match had everything right going for it. Just the wrong winners in my eyes. You have crazy back and forth chop matches between like FTR and Aussie Open. You've got counter after counter. Like, these guys know each other in the ring and they show it. Even after their first match, which was at Royal Quest, they brought it for the second match, and it sucked that Aussie Open didn't get the win, because I really felt like it was time you pulled the trigger and gave it to Aussie Open. But hopefully Aussie Open get a chance in the future again, and we get an Aussie Open versus FTR3, and Aussie Open finally come out on top. But yeah, I feel like right match, right time, wrong winner is the best way to explain that, if how I felt about it. But arguably some of the best wrestling on the card of the night there. Then we get to the main event of Christian Cage versus Darby Allin, where Christian Cage did win the match. Incredible, brutal spots throughout this, where Christian threw Darby Allin straight into the steel stairs that he's pulled away directly off the ring. We had the mat rolled up, several chair spots, and towards the end of the match, where Christian has won, we see the beatdown still happen to Darby. Nick Wayne comes out to help, to only then betray Darby and hit Darby with the TNT belt instead of Christian. To then, we get Adam Copeland debut, formerly known as Edge, come down to the ring and have a stare down with Christian, and Nick Wayne helps, gives Adam Copeland a chair, puts another chair down and puts Darby's head on top of it to say, do a concerto like you are known to do. And Edge looks like he's going to swing at that moment. Like, Adam Copeland is about to hit, he then spins, smacks Nick Wayne, throws the chair directly into Luchasaurus' face to knock him down, and Christian just bolts out. I loved the end to this card. I thought it was amazing how they debuted Edge. It wasn't a case of like any contract screwing or anything like that. Adam Copeland was done with WWE. They didn't want to re-sign him. They felt like he had his retirement match, so now we get the opportunity to see him in AEW. I know a lot of people are skeptical that AEW could ruin his name. He was struggling towards the end of his WWE career, but I'm kind of on the more open-ended side of it, of I want to see where he goes. I want to see these dream matches and dream opportunities, and I feel like AEW will tweak his schedule and make it slightly easier for him, or do certain ways of wrestling to protect him from any potential worse injuries, like how they have with Saraya, and kept her on a more tight schedule so she doesn't reoccur a neck injury. All in all, I thought the card was pretty good. It was better on paper than some of the results it gave, but I really enjoyed the 4 matches and the storytelling it is going forward, and I can't wait to see where the story now progresses, especially with Dynamite, because we still don't know who this devil with the mask was that attacked Jay. We now know that MJF still is retaining those ROH belts for Adam Cole, so that will still add tension there. We're going to see where Adam Copeland picks and who he's going to be talking about and what his decisions are why he's at AEW. We also know that he's going to have a match against Luchasaurus very soon, because that was already confirmed. We have Zack Sabre Jr. wanting a rematch, and Eddie Kingston having a potential bright future with the 2 belts of the Ring of Honor and New Japan. All in all, very good card. I'm very happy with the outcome of how they are booking for Inoki. I thought it was very respectful, especially having his grandkids there to be there as well. And I thought the media scrum was very interesting. We still had no debut of Mercedes Moné. They have been teasing it on and off, especially with how they did it All In. I assume that is just because she is still on injury and they are waiting their time to do it at another moment. But all in all, great card. Loved what I saw, and I can't wait to see what comes next. Let me know what you guys thought, and I'll see you on the next review. Bye.